Guys, we just did a podcast with my literal hero, Cytheria! Oh my god, I don't want to give away what happened, but all I'm going to say is squirting was involved. Guys, go check it out, soundcloud.com/ShaynaFriends. Bye. Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, welcome back to another conspiracy theory video. Now today's video is going to be a mix of new conspiracy theories and updates to ones that we've talked about before. And like I always say, all of these are theories, none of these are facts, and some of them can be incredibly triggering. So if you are triggered by murder or suicide or Jake Paul, then I would leave this video. For the rest of you, here we go. Okay, now this is going to be a big update to a story that we talked about like a month ago. And that is the accidental death of Kenneka Jenkins. On September 10th, 2017, Kenneka was found dead in a walk-in freezer at the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Chicago. Now there was security camera footage of her stumbling around the hotel, walking into the kitchen, but there was no footage of her actually going into the freezer. And because of that, a lot of people think that it was murder. Now over the last month and a half, her mother has come out, her family members have come out. Many people have come out and said that this was not an accident. There's no way that this little girl could have opened up that freezer by herself and went inside and just laid there.
I worked in the cafeteria before. There's no way if she drunk and they see she's stumbling so she don't have no strength.
I believe that someone in this hotel killed my child.
Well, even though all the evidence wasn't adding up and there were so many questions, just now the case was closed. As I was writing this video, the authorities announced that the case is closed and there is no more investigation. They're saying her death was accidental and there's no evidence that indicates any other conclusion. Now, of course, people freaked out. People were tweeting, "Reopen the case," hashtag Kenneka Jenkins, and thousands of people were tweeting, hashtag justice for Kenneka. Well then, something really disturbing happened. Photos of Kenneka Jenkins' body in the freezer were released. Now I am going to walk a very fine line. I do not want to show the full photos because I feel like that's disrespectful, but I do need to show pieces of the photos to explain what her mom is talking about. Okay, so first let's talk about what her mom said. Kenneka's mom on Facebook said, Rosemont Police Department stated 2 days ago, before seeing the 4 photos, that at the time Kenneka's body was found, they did not see any signs of assault or criminal play. So that is why they didn't start a criminal investigation. Then she said this, Rosemont Police Department denied me as a parent to see my child lying in the freezer. So they didn't want her to see her daughter's body.
We wasn't even allowed to, when they discovered the body, we wasn't even allowed to stand in the hotel lobby. They put us out. We had to stand outside and look.
Well, then when the pictures came out, it definitely looked like there were some instances of sexual assault and even darker things. For example, let's look at the side-by-side of these 2 pictures. On the left is Kenneka at the hotel party before she died. You can see that her jacket covers most of her back and has a straight edge. But then in the photo on the right, you see that her jacket has been ripped and it's showing a lot more of her back, looking like she might have been in some kind of altercation. And now this is when it gets really dark. A video came out, supposedly, this has not been confirmed, of the same night in the kitchen, and you see a man pushing a cart that has a big black bag on it, and inside of that bag looks to be a body. Now I know you're thinking that could have been anything. Well then, if you look at this picture of Kenneka's hand, you see this. That's right, you can see a piece of black trash bag on her nail, which looks like she might have clawed her way out of it. And then even more disturbing, there is another picture of Kenneka's shoe on the ground in the freezer, and next to it, you guessed it, a piece of black trash bag. Now this is from a police report, and it says, the photographs show that Jenkins was still wearing the jeans and jean jacket shown in surveillance videos of her walking through the hotel before her death, but the shirt beneath her jacket was pulled up, exposing her breasts. Why? Why was her shirt pulled up, exposing her breasts? Why did she have trash bag on her fingers? Why was she laying in such a way that it looked like somebody threw her in there? Well, because of this and because of a million other reasons, her family is still pissed and still wants justice, and so do all of us. But as it is now, the case has been closed. Oh my god. That one pisses me off so bad because I remember doing this conspiracy theory like a month ago. And I remember people telling me, oh, I don't know, that's a stretch. I think she was just drunk. A lot of people online were like, that's just a dumb conspiracy theory. And then these pictures come out. And she's clearly disheveled and post-assault. But either way, I guess all we can do is keep saying that We want justice. And Kanika, I just want you to know that I will not stop talking about this until we figure out what happened. Okay, so usually I would go to something lighter after something that dark, but it's just gonna get darker because we have a few more theories about the Las Vegas shooting. Now, last time I talked about some of the theories that maybe there was a cover-up with this shooting. Maybe Steven didn't actually do it, and maybe the government is using him as a scapegoat. Well, these next couple pieces of evidence show that that might be true. Okay, so first of all, these posts appeared on Facebook. Now, I researched it and it looks to be very legit, but once again, these are just theories. I don't want to get sued. None of this is fact. But allegedly, this was posted on Facebook. A bunch of people that worked the Route 91 said they got their cell phones back today. They said all their phones are completely wiped clean. All messages and info from that weekend are completely gone. Anyone else experience this? Yeah. This girl is saying that everybody that was at that concert that night of the shooting, that had their phones taken from them or that left their phones on the field, got them back the next day and they were wiped. She also said this. Don't know, but a few different people who were vendors there are saying the same thing. Which means it wasn't just people in the audience, it was people that were working there. Now, why would the police wipe all their phones? Possibly to get rid of any evidence that there might have been more than one shooter? Possibly to get rid of any videos of people showing that there's more than one shooter? Well, then somebody commented this. Of course, it's an active federal crime scene. They can wipe it clean. I was the beverage manager for the entire event. My laptop is wiped clean. His whole laptop. Like, why? If anything, wouldn't the police want to leave all of those phones intact so we could see exactly what went down and how it went down so we could figure out why Steven did it? Well, that's not the only thing that came out this week. That was very confusing. Now, something everybody's talking about right now is the timeline and how it's a little fucked up. Now, it was originally reported that after Steven did his mass shooting, he shot a security guard in the hallway at the hotel. And then right after that, he killed himself. But now it's being reported that he actually shot the security guard 6 minutes before he even started shooting the concert. Even a spokesperson of the Mandalay Bay said this. We cannot be certain about the recent timeline that has been communicated publicly, and we believe what is currently being expressed may not be accurate. Yeah, so even the Mandalay Bay is like, I don't think that's how it went down. Well, then at a press conference, the sheriff started saying one thing and then changed it halfway through. It seems like he let something slip. Check it out.
Question is, was the security officer shot before the suspect was shooting into the crowd? The answer to that is yes, we believe he was shot. We believe that he was shooting into the crowd, and then the security officer was shot during that event.
As of yesterday, Sheriff Lombardo confirmed Campos was shot first. That was Metro's first official announcement about the inaccurate timeline.
Yeah, weird, right? Like, it just felt definitely like he let it slip and then he's like, oh, fuck. Well, another thing that's really weird that I haven't heard that many people talking about is that Steven used the service elevators. And that's why supposedly he's not on camera anymore.
Sources being briefed on the investigation confirmed Paddock had access to and used Mandalay Bay's service elevator in the days leading up to the attack.
Yeah, the service elevators that are for employees and janitors and workers. Why is Steven, who's just staying at the hotel, using a service elevator? Possibly because they're bigger and because he could get more guns through them. And also, why is there not security cameras in the service elevator? You would think that's exactly where they would put it to make sure employees aren't fucking around. Either way, there's so many inconsistencies in the story. And it's not even conspiracy theories at this point. It's literally questioning why all of this happened and why all of the answers don't make sense. So I'm gonna keep looking into this and I'm gonna keep talking about it out of respect for the victims because I wanna know why they died. I wanna know why this happened. And I want to know why more people aren't questioning it. Okay, now let's move on to something a little bit lighter. We're going to be talking about why Disney stars go crazy. Miley Cyrus when she started Disney, and then Miley Cyrus later. Selena Gomez when she started Disney, and then recently. Demi Lovato when she started on Disney, and then later. Vanessa Hudgens when she started Disney, and then later. And then of course Bella Thorne. When she started Disney, she was this little pretty princess, and now she is literally making out with Tana Mojo. Now there's been talks about Disney stars losing their minds for years. It's become a joke at this point. A girl grows up on the Disney Channel and she's clean and never shows her skin and is always talking about being a virgin. And then a few years later, she's naked on a wrecking ball. And everybody's like, oh, Disney did this to them. It made them crazy. It made them promiscuous or whatever. I think there is something deeper to it. Before I get into that, let me just remind everybody what Selena Gomez, literally queen of Disney Channel, said. Disney is a machine, and I'm grateful for it. A machine. Got it? Okay. let's keep going. Now, what does everybody in Disney have in common? A contract. Every Disney personality signs a lengthy contract that allegedly makes it so that Disney kind of owns them for a long time. Now, if you were in a contract that you didn't want to be in anymore, how would you get out of it? Would you sue? No, Disney will win. Would you ask politely? Fuck no. Disney would win. But what if you knew that Disney's brand was wholesome and clean and virginal? Well, I guess if you started releasing nude pictures of yourself, or dressing really provocatively, or singing about sex, Disney might end your contract. And then you're free. These Disney kids are smart, right? They're not crazy, they're not dumb, they're not just like going out and partying and like being idiots. They're fucking smart. That's why they're where they are. So why wouldn't they purposely do crazy, provocative, weird things online to get out of their contract? It's genius. Let's look at Dove Cameron. So a while ago, she said this: Disney is such an exceptional group of people. Everybody that works for the company is so kind and lovely that it's like a big family and no one's telling anyone to say that. Okay, interesting. But then let's fast forward to look at some of the tweets that she was liking. If Dove does another Disney show, I'll unstan. Dove Cameron is close to 22 years old. She can finish Descendants franchise, but that's the only thing she should be doing for Disney Channel. I want Dove to drag me with music and movie announcements. I need her to shut me down. And then there's this one, which goes right back to what I said about the contracts. No matter what Dove Cameron chooses to do, I'll root for her. She's been giving off some lawyer vibes lately. Flashed to me in the courtroom, and she liked that. Like, she actually liked that. So here's what I think is gonna happen. This is more of a prediction and less of a theory. I think Dove might slowly release some sexy music videos and be a sexy picture on Instagram and maybe even a leak somewhere. And then Disney will cut her contract and then Dove will be free. I mean, she is friends with Bella Thorne, so she might be getting advice from there. And I am rooting for all the Disney stars. Do it. Break your contracts. Get free. Because nobody wants to stay working for a machine. Okay, so this next conspiracy theory is incredibly touchy, mainly because it deals with sexual assault, and it's a huge claim. A former Pussycat doll, Kaya Jones, claims that the Pussycat Dolls was actually a prostitution ring. Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a rumor. No, she tweeted this. My truth, I wasn't in a girl group. I was in a prostitution ring. Oh, and we happened to sing and be famous, while everyone who owned us made the money. That is so scary, but also not that shocking, sadly enough. I mean, we all know that in Hollywood, there's a lot of that going on. A lot of sex for money and sex for jobs. Well, then she tweeted this. How bad was it, people ask? Bad enough that I walked away from my dreams, bandmates, and a $13 million record deal that we knew was going to be #1. Well, then she did an interview saying this.
If you're accepting an opportunity for sleeping with your boss or bosses or being propositioned that it'll go further if you do this, what's the difference between a job opportunity and cash?
Now, after people started talking about this and it became a thing, the woman who created the Pussycat Dolls came out and said something super fucked up.
Kaya Jones was never a member of the Pussycat Dolls, but simply a Pussycat reject who's looking for her 15 minutes of fame.
Yikes. Now listen, I don't know who I believe in this situation, but it's not a shock to me. I mean, we've talked about this a million times before. Hollywood is so fucked up and there's so much sex and prostitution and child molestation, so much going on that the idea of a girl group actually being a prostitution ring is not that crazy. Once again, a theory, not a fact. Don't sue me. But Hollywood is gross. I mean, remember in the last video we talked about the fact that Selena Gomez is going to be in a Woody Allen movie who allegedly is a child molester? Well, then this came out. Woody Allen's new movie includes a sexual relationship between an adult and a 15-year-old child. That's what the movie's about. A child molester is directing a movie about a child molester starring Selena Gomez. It's all so fucking gross. Okay, I feel like we really need to lighten things up. So let's switch topics. Now, we have talked about alternate realities for a long time. The idea that maybe we're living in a matrix and maybe little things change that affect everything and maybe nothing's real at all. Well, then this happened and it triggered everybody and everybody's like, oh my God, we're living in a matrix. Now, this is from a basketball game and, well, I'm just gonna show it to you first. Okay, I know on first viewing it's like, what's the big deal? They all just ran the same way. But really look at it. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Notice that all of them at the same moment turn and run at the same time. They even run on their same foot. Watch. Do you see what I mean? The more you watch it, the weirder it is. I mean, it's weird, right? It's literally like, all of them. They didn't even communicate it. It wasn't like everybody's like, run. It was like, I mean, I know it sounds funny, and I even laughed when I saw this trending on Twitter, but the more I watched it, the more I was like, this is weird. But once again, do I think that's proof that we're in a simulation? No, I think it was a weird coincidence. But then there's this. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you a question, and you answer it. What is the order of the lights on a stoplight? Now, I'm guessing you were thinking red, orange, and green. And you'd be right. That's what all the stoplights are, except for in one place where they're the opposite. That's right, green, orange, and then red. Now this specific stoplight is in New York on Tipperary Hill. Tipperary Hill is the home of the upside down traffic light. Now there have been tons of urban legends about why it's upside down. There's even one about evil leprechauns throwing stones to break the lights over and over again, and then they were replaced wrong. I mean, that seems actually crazy to me. But there's one theory that ties all of this together. And that is the theory that Tipperary Hill might be a section or a center point of a parallel universe or of a simulation. So we talk about Mandela effects, right? There's little things that we remember one way, but we see them the other. What if the stoplights are a Mandela effect? What if they did used to be upside down like that? But what if when everything changed in our simulation, they all went to red at the top? But then what if in this one section, didn't? I mean, think about it. We all know about the Bermuda Triangle. I mean, in that location alone, 75 planes and hundreds of ships have gone missing. So maybe that's an intersection too of a parallel universe. And maybe Tipperary Hill is another one. Oh my God, what if you went to Tipperary Hill and you went to like a bookstore? And what if they had a Berenstain Bear book there? Maybe I'll try to do that. Okay, now we're gonna end it with this. Now this is kind of funny, but also driving me crazy. And that is the conspiracy that Jake Paul is trying to ruin my life. Okay, that's over the top. But he might be trying to fuck with me. All right, so here's how it went down. I posted a video called Confronting My First Love. Now, if you look at the thumbnail, it's me sitting with her in a car having an uncomfortable conversation. Well then, a few days later, Jake Paul posts this. A conversation with my ex-girlfriend, him in the car, with her, having an uncomfortable conversation. Okay, maybe it's just a coincidence, maybe the thumbnail and titles are just similar, but now look at a clip of his video.
And I was like, yo, let's link up, and she was down, and so now we're about to do this. This should be interesting. Uncle Nathan, are you nervous, bro?
A little bit.
All right, now look at a clip of mine. And I said, hey, do you wanna reconnect, and can I film it? And she wrote back a very simple, like, okay, and now we are going to her house. All right, let's see how it goes. What? Literally the same idea, the same way we expressed how nervous we were. It was all so similar. And then I tweeted it because I thought it was kind of interesting and kind of funny, and then it became drama.
Shane Dawson actually responded to this drama kinda by reacting to Jake Paul's video yesterday, saying this: Jake Paul is coming for my brand, not clickbait, showing that the thumbnail and title is very similar to Shane Dawson.
Okay, now clearly I don't care, and like, it is what it is. I think he probably saw my video trending on the trending page and he didn't know who I was, and he's like, oh, that's a good idea, I'll do it, which is fine. But this is where it gets crazier. Literally, I think a day after I tweeted about this, he puts up a video called Real Exorcism on Our Possessed Friend. Now, if you are new to my channel, you might not know this. Literally a month ago, I did the same video. And it wasn't just an exorcism of a friend, it was an exorcism of Tessa Brooks.
Yo, it's Tessa Brooks. The competition shook.
Yeah, that Tessa Brooks. Tessa Brooks from Team 10. Tessa Brooks, who is with Jake Paul. And the worst part is, Nick Crompton, my king, was in my video. And in Jake's video, he's the one getting the exorcism. Which makes me think, was this all planned? Are they trying to make me crazy? Are they trying to ruin me? All I'm saying is, if next week Jake Paul starts doing conspiracy theories, I'm done. No, I'm just kidding, I don't care. I thought it was interesting though, and I definitely think that they are trying to fuck with my head. Well, there you guys go. I just wanted to end this video on something funny and stupid because it was incredibly dark, and a lot. Well, there you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed these conspiracy theories, and hopefully they made you think and question. Alright, you guys, I'm gonna go. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you want more conspiracy theories. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel right down below and hit the notification bell because I make new videos every day. And if you want to see all my other conspiracy theory videos, I'll put a link to a playlist right down below. Alright, you guys, don't believe everything you see.